Whoops, I missed the timing. I'll pop up here in a second, no worries. Bam, there I am. Alright, I'll be the first to admit it. This is not my most creative name, but for the stream anyways, but it's what I'm going with. So we all just have to deal with it, understood? I'm gonna move a little bit. That's good. I have exciting news. You may have noticed something above me. See that? See those? See? You see what those are? Custom emotes. Artwork done by Celeste _ TV, aka literally space. You can see their names down below. I think it's below. Is it? It looks like it, yeah. Looks like it's below. Under art. Very talented artist. I really enjoyed their artwork, and they were able to make some emotes for me. So I can't use them in Twitch at the moment. I'm hoping to soon, crossing fingers. But I'm using them in my Discord as emotes at the moment. So I'm really excited. I'm gonna leave them there today because I'm really happy with the way they turned out. Excuse me, I'm getting a little teary-eyed here. No, but I'm really happy with the way they turned out, and I kind of just want to show them off. So yeah, today I'm back with the Stanley Parable Deluxe Edition. I played a bit of it, I want to say a month ago now, and then I meant to come back, but I just never got around to it, I suppose. So that's on me, but I'm back. Tomorrow I won't be able to stream, but Thursday I will be back with more of the Outer Wilds. So stay tuned for that if that's what you're into. And without further ado, let's get into the game. Also, I still don't have headphones. I probably won't have headphones or a headset for another week. I know I can go to the dollar store and buy a cheap pair. I really don't want to do that. I just want to get a good pair. So I'm gonna wait a week and then get a good headset. So I do apologize if the sound gets a little weird later. Hopefully my microphone shouldn't pick up any sound from the speakers, but you know, things happen sometimes. That's what, you know, scruff. No, I want to be in front of this. There we go. There we go. I had to fix a scene real quick. Okay, so without further ado, let's get into it. Hang on. Is he speaking? Before we get started, I just say something. Thank you for actually setting the clock both times you booted up the game. Oh, okay. I was confused. I was like, what's going on? A lot of people don't take that step seriously. They just leave the clock set at 12 o'clock and call it a day. But you're actually taking the time to set the clock, and I appreciate that. That's how I know that you care about this experience. You're paying attention. I don't even have any way of knowing if the times you're setting are correct. Tell you what, I'll make a deal with you. Since you've been so cooperative, next time you boot up the game and see the screen, just set the clock to your favorite time. Go ahead, pick whichever time you want. Even if it's not the correct time, you've earned it. Aww. Alright, I'll let you get back to the video game now. Thank you. That was such a sweet message. What a nice message by the game. Okay. And we'll get back into it. Last time I broke the narrator's heart. The sad
This
moment.
is the story of a man named Stanley.
But unfortunately, that just had to be done.
Stanley.
We've seen that. We don't need to see it again. All right, let's go. Achievement,
All of his
welcome back.
co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
This box looks interesting. I remember what everything looked like. New content. I don't think this was here before, but I haven't even finished all of the old content. Now let's do it.
Oh, new content? What does that mean? New content.
Being transported. What's the Half-Life style? Not like a whole bunch of games haven't done Half-Life anyway.
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
You're welcome.
As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers.
I thought it was much later than that.
After
That's
receiving
so long
critical
ago.
and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe,
Nice.
a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers.
That's what I have.
The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over.
I love these visuals. They've done a good job here.
Please step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content.
I'm very excited too. Considering I haven't fully done the other one, all the stuff from the original. But I'm
Okay,
excited.
So far, it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure.
Patience, narrator. You gotta be patient here.
Is it broken?
I was actually
What's
wondering the
going
same
on
thing.
here?
You're not alone there.
Should we be moving somewhere? Or,
Oh,
here
there we go.
All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the
Patience,
new content.
narrator,
I've never
patience. What did I
been more
just say?
ready. Let's do it.
Just said patience, and then you go not being patient.
I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if Oh, okay. Let's see the content.
This
Give me the
dude-
content, Stanley.
He's not patient at all. He has no patience. The jump circle.
All right. Let's see. It's the jump circle.
I can jump. Do I have to be in the circle? You do. Alright. Get all the way down to 0. Seven, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Alright, you ready for this final one? Nice. Well worth it. Well worth it. Can I jump again? Nope. Alright, that was fun. That was fun. Good content. Good content.
Is that it? Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else,
over
right?
here. No, it's wires. Why even at that, huh? Can't believe it. More elevators, hey! This is giving me a potato thriller
Another
vibes.
elevator. Stanley, I have to say,
Later
initial
on my YouTube
impressions
channel, you
of
should
this
check it
game
out.
are not positive. It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content? If this is new
Yes.
content,
As long
then I
as
could
it
just read you
stimulates
the
my
whole
brain.
dictionary. There's 20 hours of
chef's
new
kiss.
content right there. Hell, I could counter 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And oh wait, there's more. Very
This
good.
dude
Yes.
has no patience.
I knew there had to be something else. Let's see it. I'm ready
time
for
is it?
whatever it is.
11:25, 24, 11:24. That took me way longer than it should have to read that clock. A bit upset. Thank you
That's
for
it?
enjoying the new
Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see,
10 out of
Stanley?
10.
This is what happens
That was
when
great.
greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And
Yeah, you know
don't get
what?
me started on
You
the
know,
level
screw
of
them,
craftsmanship
actually.
that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's achievements, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test achievement, please ignore."
Oh,
what
my
quality assurance
goodness.
department signed off on this? I'm
What kind of-
infuriated and I'm
no
offended,
passion,
and I intend
no
to
care,
find
just a
these
cheap
people
way to
on
get a
Twitter
dollar.
and hold them personally accountable. It's my fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game, and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks.
I think there's a lot of
Just
gimmicks
you
in
and
this
me
game.
having a great time together like always. What do you say, friend?
Oh, he just did it for me. Okay. Back in the office, huh? This is different. What? Yeah, that's what I'm supposed to be going into.
Psst. Stanley, come over here. In the vent. I want to show you something.
Man, what's over here though? Does it continue with the... Okay, I'm checking out what's in the vent. I think that would continue the actual game. Or before the new content. This is all the actual game. But like before the new content. Okay. No going back now. We're in it. We're in this to win this.
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be?
Yeah,
But it got me
I
thinking
enjoyed
about
it until
the
you
past
told me
and
otherwise.
how much
Then I
better the
hated
Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's
Whoa.
developers won't find it. Just our little secret. Take a look. I call it the Memory Zone.
I love
It's
it.
where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want.
Nice.
Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC.
Oh, he's obsessed. He's a little obsessed. You think he's actually touched this grass out here? You think he's touched it before? I'm starting to wonder.
You see, Stanley, doesn't the Memory Zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap re-release?
All right,
Remember
narrator.
back in October of 2013, when the game originally launched? Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh,
What?
the waste.
And the British Academy of Film and Television. All right then. Narrator, I have a confession to make. I never played the Stanley Parable back in the day, but I played Stanley Parable Deluxe this time. I have that. I don't share the same nostalgia as you do. Go outside. Don't play for 5 years. Oh yeah, that's an achievement. If you don't play it for 5 years, you get an achievement. Unachievable. It's impossible to get this achievement. Ooh. I wonder how you get it then. Nominee, nominee, nominee. Use the tough choices. Oh yeah, when Stanley, I don't know, stole a purse or something? I can't remember. What's out here? These flowers are too hard for me. I can't get through them.
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism, 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was.
I don't believe
It
it.
was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim. It was Persona 3. It was all of them. And now, it's nothing. It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk
What's this even
with
say?
an hour of new elevator content.
Neat. Up or down? Up or down? What's down here? Nothing. Alright. I thought I had a choice here. That's Portal. That's Portal. That's all I know. Oh, Minecraft. The doors. Intriguing. Very intriguing.
Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com.
I like
The
GameSpot.
Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games,
Oh, maybe
and one that
I'm thinking
offers some of the
GameStop.
most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. It just needed to be left alone, to spend the rest of time collecting dust in the hallowed hall of beloved video game memories.
I can't get through. My itch. I can't get through here. Maybe I have to go grab a tool.
These were simpler times, Stanley. But I wouldn't give to go back to have it all over again.
I mean, you
Wait.
could.
Hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before.
Oh, this is the
What's
bad
this?
review
What's down
zone.
here? Oh no. Oh God, no. Stanley, it's a collection of reviews from Steam, the online video game distributor. I haven't looked at these in
I love
years. I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here. Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they?
I'm sure. People love the Stanley Parable. Not recommended.
Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny,
Is this a real
with his
review?
humor and dialogue proving to be
I
more
think it is.
irritating than entertaining. Unfunny! I'm not trying to be
Oh
funny.
my gosh, I
I'm
thought
trying
that
to make
was
a
fun.
serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
No idea, man. Excuse me. Oh. Theme. I wonder if those are the bad ones and these are the good ones. Oh, maybe not. You know what? No, my title
Okay, let's see
surprisingly
what this one
fitting.
is. While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley?
Oh.
I'm not preachy, am I? You
New
can
shop.
tell me if
you
I'm
don't know what
preachy.
you were
Honestly,
saying.
you can. Oh, goodness. This is actually quite shocking for me. Well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it
I'm
to
sure it
feel
was
as
a lot.
light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did. But maybe it wasn't. Oh dear. What an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks on my otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel like a failure.
Oh,
Like I let these
narrator, you're
people
not a
down.
failure.
Perhaps the Stanley Parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered.
Oh,
What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of
you
what's
know what?
happening.
That's kind of true.
I
That
wish
one's
there
kind of
was
true.
a skip button. A skip button?
Yeah, that one's a little
Well,
draggy.
Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt.
Really not.
Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable. That's
Yeah,
my
let's do
motto
it.
today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have.
Nice.
And here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot.
I'm back. Hello.
Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes
like he
and
just
lengthy
blinks and making
ruminations
stuff
on the
up.
nature of choice in video games. Of course, I happen to believe it was perhaps one of my more profound such ruminations. Not that, of course, you need a description of it, but if I had to describe it, I'd say it was perhaps less of a rumination and more of a treatise.
I get it.
Well, there's sport. You really did catch me rambling on a
Oh.
bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption,
Is-
it's
do I have to
right
do
at
it
your
again,
fingertips
narrator?
to go poof, and it's all over. Oh, I can't wait to see what Cookie 9 will say about this, and whether they'll edit the rating of their Steam review. Or at least change some of the wording, perhaps. To be honest, I don't even know if one can change their...
I give you
Okay,
chances.
welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes.
Oh, really?
It's not unendurable by any means, but it's, well, there's really only so much I can ramble on to myself about. I know, it's shocking, isn't it? But at any rate, I do suggest that we not press the button again. I think the skip button has been aptly demonstrated, and we can say goodbye to it and just... Wait, how do we get out of here? Where did the door go? Wasn't there a door that led into this room?
Did you make this room?
I do feel quite certain that there was one here before. Stanley! Stanley!
I'm here.
Stanley,
I'm here.
Please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours.
Geez, 12 hours.
You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really, truly getting longer, and my God, there's no way out of the room. Stanley, the door is gone. It's completely gone. I've looked at it from every angle. I've checked every one of those walls 1,000 times,
well,
and there's
only
no
one
door,
answer.
Stanley. There's no door. There's just you and the button, and if you...
Oops,
Oh,
I didn't.
Stanley, you're back. You're back. Oh, my goodness. I have someone to talk to again. Stanley, I think it's been a week.
Geez, a week?
Or
You've been
2
here a
weeks.
week?
I've been sitting here all that time, just sitting here, not a single person to speak with. And you'd think that that's just how it's always been, right?
I kind of
Me
don't want to
talking,
press it now. I
you
feel bad.
saying
He's been
nothing.
lonely.
Would you think that it's exactly the same as always? Doesn't that feel like what
feel like
we've
he's
already
lonely
been
now.
doing? Me just talking? But it isn't, Stanley. It isn't the same at all. It isn't even close. Because I know you can't hear me once you push that button.
It's true,
That's
I
what
can't.
I'm realizing now, Stanley. I'm realizing that I needed to know that someone was listening.
We just
I
pretend like
needed
someone's
there to be a
listening.
vessel through which my words were moving. It was the vessel I needed, Stanley. Not the outcomes, not the story. None of that matters anymore. I'll give it all up. I'll give up every branching path. I'll burn my story to the ground. One single thing I need, and God, I can see now that I need it more than anything, is to know that someone else is taking it in. These words that
I can't, narrator.
Oh, hello. It's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time. I stopped keeping track after a year. Have you ever sat down in one place and not moved for one entire year?
Can't say that I have.
Let me describe it for you. To begin with, there is only regret. There is only the turning wheel of missed opportunities. I felt nothing at all but regret for the longest time, Stanley. Days, months.
Yeah,
I lost it all in a
felt bad
blur
for
of the
pressing it
deepest
again.
longing to undo the past. And when that feeling had begun to subside, what took its place is what I can only describe as the collapse of every moment I have ever experienced my entire life. All of them collapsed down into a single instant. In that instant, I could see myself clearly.
He goes on too long. Narrator? Last time was years, so... decades? Narrator? He dead. Pressing it again. Fire extinguisher. A fire alarm.
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us. It wasn't enough. They had to leave a pathetic little thumbs down review and make all of their pitiful demands. But then, he's talking too much, they said. First, he didn't entertain us, now he won't shut up. It's the inconsistency, it's the lack of accountability, it's the unwillingness to examine with an uncompromising heart the words that they are speaking into the world. As though there were no consequences for a lack of cohesion in one's assessment of others. But of course, absolutely anyone can leave a review. So here's what we get. We get these demands that seek every...
I don't need to hear. Talk and talk and talk. Can't even press the button? Uh-oh. Is it broken? Is it broken? Did I mess up? Is it gone? No, it's back. I just had to walk around, I guess. Oh, there's a cooldown. That's probably right.
The end is never 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 the...
Okay, we didn't need to hear that. You were going a little nuts there, narrator. Just a little nuts. I don't think there's anything behind that wall. Yes, I figured this would happen at some point. You keep going until all rotted away. Poor narrator had to wait all these, what, thousands of years, I'm assuming? Hundreds at least? Can the narrator get out now? Can I get out now? Clogged up pipe. Nighttime? Where'd all the plants go? What did they do with the plants? Can you spawn me in daytime? Sounds like some things are going on up there. Maybe I'll press it again. Oh. We can leave, narrator. We can leave. Can't even press it again, can I? It's over. It's over. We're out. We made it, narrator. We survived. I survived. I don't know about you, actually. I survived. Narrator. Goodbye, old friend. Where we're going, we don't need narration. Back to the future, my friends. Where am I going, actually? Oh. What? No. No, what? No, it doesn't just end like that. No. No, what happened to narrator?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
What happened to narrator? New content. Heck yeah.
Oh, good. You notice my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
Okay, I'm excited now. New content from the narrator. Heck yeah. I'm glad he left me that sign. This is exciting. Very exciting stuff. Alright, where is it? Where's the new content?
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra deluxe version has turned out to be.
I like the other
original
section.
Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new
And the jump
content for it
circle,
should
that
live
was
up
great.
to that legacy. So forget this ultra deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further.
Super
Which
ultra
is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever the Stanley Parable 2.
Oh my goodness, the Stanley Parable 2.
Yes, you see, isn't this far superior to a
this
measly
looks
re-release
amazing.
with a few minor additions? Think
Oh,
of all the
yes.
new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely
Yes.
new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for.
This is nice. This is a nice change of pace. Just the two
Calling
of
it the
us.
Stanley Parable 2 is just so
can
much
make
catchier
it
than
if we
Ultra
try,
Deluxe, don't you
just
think?
the two of
Ultra
us.
Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable
just
2,
building
now
cast-
that's
okay,
an
that's
artistic
it.
statement right there.
I don't
It's
know that song very
future-oriented.
well.
It screams progress and innovation
I saw-
and
what was-
long-term
what's he saying?
franchising potential.
Odin busted new hotness. Heck yeah, cool red section off the charts. 2 doors. Wow. Wow, 2 doors.
Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be.
It's
but
okay.
let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it.
Goose Scrum.
I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of
Oh,
interesting
9?
concepts,
9
that
o'clock?
surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than
I love
anything
these little
scientific or
jokes.
logical.
Who took
really.
the red marker? Me. I love it. He has no idea what Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but I'm excited. New hotness, new content. Expo Hall or the Stanley Parable 2. Let's do this.
Here we are. Go on. Try out some of the new features.
Wow, a bucket? Taste the sequel? A button? Oh my gosh, what I do? The button or the bucket? That's new. Wait, what's over here? New easy achievement. I'm liking this new hotness. Okay. I'm doing the bucket. Wait, what's this? Please no screenshots. The Stanley Parable.
Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this
I didn't
one.
mean to go in here.
I
Okay,
think that in the
we'll go in
new
here.
version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday.
When I say
Which
no
would you go
screenshots, I'm gonna
with?
take a screenshot. Already? I did it. I wonder if they're gonna say anything. Do I do something? Oh, over here. Oh. Let's do happy 12th birthday, Stepney.
You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Get Well Someday it is. Or actually, maybe I should have gone with... No, I've made my decision. We're moving on.
Alright, I guess screenshotting does nothing. What if I screenshot the no screenshot sign? That didn't. Alright. The jump circle! Oh my
You
gosh.
know what? Let's bring the jump circle back for Stanley Parable
Yes, it was
2
the
as
best
well.
part of the Stanley Parable
wait.
1.
You already spent all your jumps the first time we saw the jump circle.
No, add more.
Oh well. I suppose it can just be a nice decorative piece then.
Aw. That's quite sad. Alright. We're gonna go to the bucket. Oh wait, merch? This is the end. This is never the end. This t-shirt is the best new feature. I would disagree, but I believe it's close. There's something about a bucket here.
A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I am happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a
Where's the
sense
bucket?
of calm and ease will fill your mind.
where's
and
the
your
bucket?
heart. It's true.
As long as you hold on to the bucket,
Oh.
the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting. You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be?
I would
Yes,
imagine that's quite a lot of work.
The bucket is the perfect solution. Come on, give it a try.
Wait, who's
Can
laughing?
you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair,
You know what?
must
You know
already
what?
be
You did
sweeping
it.
through your body. And in fact,
The laughing
can I
caught
say
me
that
off
I do
guard.
believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well?
Oh, charisma.
I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person.
Oh.
The benefits of the bucket seem to go on and on, don't they? All this and more await you in the Stanley Parable 2.
I love it. I love this feature. Thank you for this bucket. It feels so nice. It feels great to hold. And I know it's a bucket, but I feel like it's holding me back. I feel it's embrace. It's one.
Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game?
You
That
deserve
really
it.
should be an award if it isn't already.
And you deserve to win every year. At this point, like, I don't think, at this point, modern technology cannot surpass this. This is the peak of buckets in games. What more can you do? What more can you do? The Stanley Parable nailed it. Wait. Oh yeah, the button that says the name.
For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people. So with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button which speaks the name of the person playing the game. Isn't that wonderful?
Alright. Okay, I have an issue here. It's too big. Just right. Alright, see that? Too big? Just right? Too small? I happen to think that's a good size. That's a perfect size. Some would say that that size is even a little too big. It might be uncomfortable. I would say it's a good size. So, I think they mislabeled here. I don't think this should be too small. I can't even press the button. Okay, let's go. Oh, here's the button. Oh, those were test buttons.
Jim.
Sorry, I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim.
I was so
But
confused.
of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is. Here, let's have you roleplay as Jim to really simulate the full experience of this feature. Just play along. I promise you'll love it.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay, here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind,
Bucket
forget
has me.
whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim. I want you to imagine yourself living as Jim, sleeping and waking as Jim,
Yeah,
falling in
imagine it.
love and being heartbroken as Jim, seizing all of the world's possibilities as Jim, and as Jim watching your dreams crumble into dust. Do you feel it deeply?
I do,
Are
yes,
you really,
yes.
truly Jim right now?
Yes.
If so, then please step forward and press the button.
Oh wow, what what a lovely place this is here. Oh, lovely desk. My name's Jim, and I really like this desk you have here. Oh, the button that says the name of the player that's playing the game. Well, my name's Jeff. I wonder if it's gonna say Jeff. Well, let me check it. Let me. I'm just holding this bucket tighter because I'm nervous. Like, is it really gonna say my name, Jim? I've been saying the wrong name the entire time. I'm so stupid.
Jim.
It's Jeff, it's
You
Jim.
see? What a thrill! What a rush! That was you! The button described you. Do it again. Do it again.
Jim.
It hits even harder the second time. If this were the only new feature in the Stanley Parable 2, it would still be worth the money.
Mm-hmm.
Let's take a break from the Jim button. I'm too emotionally drained
No,
from
let me
all
be
of this
Jim
personal...
again.
Whoa there, cowboy. Sometimes a person can be too much Jim. I'm putting the Jim button away.
No.
Otherwise, soon you'll start to lose
Jim,
all sense
Jim,
of who you
Jim,
actually
Jim,
are.
Jim, Jim.
No. You took my button away. I gotta hold this bucket tighter. Alright, out of here. Can't believe they took my button. Quite disappointed. Quite disappointed.
I suppose I could allow only people named Jim to play the Stanley Parable too. That would actually save me the work of finishing this feature.
But then you have to create a new feature, and I don't know if that's worth it, honestly.
An epilogue would be fun, wouldn't it, Stanley? Yes, it will go at the end of the, well, we'll figure that out later.
I don't think I want to. Whoa. A whole new office. Red is the new orange. The new updated ray tracing, more of the same, but in a good way. Sequel to the new features, content, new ideas. Infinite hole. Go to the infinite hole. Infinity.
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game.
An infinite
This is,
hole?
in fact, a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite
Portal, right?
falling.
Portal did that.
You can fall until the end of time, if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium.
Oh, don't you dare close the door on me. Why'd you put a roof on there? Alright. There I go. Into the
See,
void,
isn't
into
it
the infinite
wonderful?
hole.
One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so. Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we
Teleport
can
button?
continue onward.
Well, what if I don't want to press it?
Now, I don't mean to be a bummer, but I do recommend you use the teleport button to go back to the top. Maybe do it on the sooner rather than later spectrum.
You know
of
what?
things.
I'm starting to think this isn't an infinite hole. I think there's a bottom to this.
Okay, Stanley. I don't know quite how to say this tactfully, but it's possible that I slightly exaggerated the infinite nature of the hole.
That's what I thought.
Is it a very, very deep hole? To be certain it is. It's an extremely deep hole. I don't want anyone to say that it isn't an astonishingly deep hole. It is. Is it infinite? Well, that sort of depends on your definition of infinity.
Oh.
From one perspective,
Oh, I thought it got
the
smaller.
infinite is merely philosophical in nature. It's more of a...
Oh,
Okay, well, good for you. You found the bottom of the hole. You found me out, Stanley.
What is
I'm a
that?
liar and a cheat, and you're so
Me at 2 p.m.
clever. Look, I think the issue here is just that you're unusually fascinated by falling. What normal person actually wants to fall infinitely? I
fair
figured
point.
the hole was as deep as anyone would actually need. Don't you put this on me. Maybe you're the problem.
fine, narrator. Fine.
Look,
Okay.
things got a little heated there. I think we both said some things we didn't mean.
I can't
Why
speak.
don't we just put all this behind us and agree to just call the whole mostly infinite? If that works for you,
It
then go ahead and press the
doesn't.
teleport button to warp up to the top of the hole and we can move on. I'll just be up here when you're ready.
Alright, what if I don't? See if he said anything. Nope, not doing anything. Maybe I should. Meeting at 2 p.m. What if when I restart the game I put 2 p.m. Next time I get on here, that's what I'm doing. Alright. Why would I want to go up? I have a bucket.
Great. Now, I'm very excited to show you. Oh, for heaven. You see, I was right. The problem is you.
It was a
The
fun
problem
fall.
is that you like holes too much. Not normal. A normal person would have said, yep, that's an infinite hole right there. Goes on forever till the end of time. Don't need to see it all, but not you. Oh, no, 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 no. You have a weird sort of... Oh. Did
It
the hole
did.
seem even
That-
shorter to you this time?
That was
I couldn't
shorter.
help but feel like you spent a little less time in there than you did before. I mean, admittedly, I didn't make an infinite hole, but I didn't think it was that not infinite. Well, I suppose once again there's nothing to do here. If you decide you've had enough of the hole, you can hit the teleport button and come join me up above.
I'm going to guess. If I keep doing this, the hole's
Had
going to
enough?
close.
I'm positively thrilled. I really do have so much more to show you and to talk about. Gosh, how could I have guessed? You're back in the hole.
Yeah, it's done.
If this starts to become a thing where... Wow. Okay. Yes. I'm starting to become extremely certain that the hole is not only not infinite, but that it's growing steadily less and less infinite.
I'm starting to think the
I
same, Mr.
suspect that I'm
Narrator.
starting to hit the point where it's no longer feasible to call the hole infinitely deep, even by the lax overall standards for accountability and marketing. What's going on here? Stanley, I have no explanation for the uncertain nature of the hole's length. Here, let's try something. Let's pop back up to the top, and we'll see if it gets any shorter. Well, there it is.
Oh.
The shame of my lies. How is this still appealing to you? I know you're obsessed with
I didn't mean-
holes,
I
but
did
at
not
this
mean to come
depth,
here.
I just can't see this scratching the itch. Oh, who am I to judge? You just do whatever it is you're here to do and hit the teleport button when you're ready to move on. Is the, teleport button not working?
It's not. I actually did
You
press it
sure?
several times.
Well, I mean, I really don't have an explanation. It was working just a moment ago. Try it again.
Oh,
Still
not
nothing?
working.
Well, I suppose there is one thing I can do to fix this. I'm out. Goodbye, Stanley. You couldn't bear to be away from the hole, and now you'll get more time with it than you could
No.
ever have asked for.
Did I get the
it's
hole
a win
ending?
for everyone. You get to be with the hole. I get to do literally anything else. Take care, Stanley.
I got the whole
I hope
ending.
you and the hole have a wonderful rest of eternity together.
No, get me out of here. What has happened? There was still much more to explore. Hello? I want to begin the game. Something has to happen. Something has to happen. The hole. Narrator. Oh, he's missing out. Not sure what they're doing, but they're missing out. I got this cool bucket. I got a hole. What more can a Stanley ask for? I don't think there is much more. I have to change my. Whoa! Stanley, why isn't Stanley holding the bucket? This is the closest we've ever seen him. It's the first time we've seen his face, I think. Did he change my perception? Oh. Funky music. This one's kind of intense. This noise. Change my reality? Oh. Whoa. Hey, fossils. J to just might to change yourself. Puppies, aw. I'm a robot. No, spaceman. Oh, on my head. Bobblehead.
Stronger. Now you're no longer using up the space of mine.
Error. Oh, that's a Gmod reference. I know that one.
You're no longer using up the space.
That was kind of cute. I like that.
My head's stronger. Now you're no longer
Stanley?
using up the space.
Stanley!
Narrator, no, leave me. No!
Oh, good, you're awake. It seems you had sort of dozed off there.
No.
Drifting away into dreamland.
I was
You
having a
can't have
fun
that, Stanley,
time.
because this hole is just so darn fascinating that I want you to be wide awake for every second of it. You don't want to miss a single moment. So how about if I just pop in from time to time and wake you up to keep you really, truly focused on the hole? From the looks of things, you and I will have many, many years here in this hole.
This is
and
his
I'm looking forward
revenge
to all
for
of
the
them.
skip button.
Stay alert, Stanley. I'll be back. Toodle-pip.
Oh, I was having such a great time. Gonna move again. It took a second, I think. Oh. Oh, I'm back. Okay, at least I'm here in the Stanley Parable 2.
Here we are. Go on. Try out some of the new features.
I feel like they could have just got me out there. I don't think I needed to just pop back up here. Oh well, not a big deal. Can I do the bucket again? No, okay. I kind of want this free new achievement that's easy to get. The achievement, get yours right now. Pull the lever, receive your new achievement. No more steps. It just works. Get yours right now. And do.
Now, here's something special. You remember that broken test achievement that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the achievement. Yes. You see, you'll come to this lever, and when you pull it, the achievement will be given to you. It's as simple as that.
Alright. Thought he might berate me for not doing a simple achievement.
Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right
again?
now, the achievement is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
Dang, I thought if I did it enough, I could get the achievement. I guess not. Alright, I'm very disappointed in this one. I get it's a showcase.
What else? What other
They're
exhibits
disappointing.
haven't we seen yet?
Collectible. That's new.
Ah, collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's
okay.
truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them.
Those are the
I
best
don't
parts
want to
of the game.
stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
6 of them. Are there actually 6 of them?
God, it really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic.
Are they real? Like, do I actually have to go finding them? Oh no. I'm gonna say no and move on. I think it's just the epilogue and the exit left. I feel like that would be that's something they would do. Nope. There's one more thing. I thought they would connect, but I guess not. Over there, up there. Very good map. Setting world champion. I haven't seen that. Maybe it's a lot. I didn't need to go all the way around. Oh, settings. Maybe you just want to change the settings. Nope. Okay. Waste of time. I'm going to the exit. I thought I was on something. I really did. Just ooh, but now that song's in my head, but only only that part, only the part everyone knows. So it's not like the tune is very long. It's just like just the two of us repeating over and over again.
All right. Have you seen everything you wanted to? Ready to move on now?
I think so. As long as I get to keep the bucket.
So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience.
Oh, bad. Part of the game development.
Okay. Are you ready?
Yeah, let's do
Here
it.
it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2.
Wow. No, this doesn't work at all.
I mean, there's potential here, right?
No.
It's sort of... Okay, never mind. Hold on. Let me do a different arrangement. Okay, yes, this is much better. I feel good about this. Here we go. Version 2.
I feel like that's even worse, actually.
Who am I kidding, Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything.
I can't get it. Oh, okay.
I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course.
Oh,
with respect.
I see.
With care for the vision and integrity of the original game. Would it possibly work? I suppose it could, but it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2." Let me see if I can whip something up.
Is it going to be Ultra
All
Deluxe?
right, perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
Oh no, okay. Very, very dramatic opening or title screen.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he
balloons.
was employee number
Look at the
427.
balloons.
Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor at his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427
Was that
did
milliseconds?
every
61
day,
milliseconds?
every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Balloons. It's a nice touch.
All of his
I like
co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
This shows
Stanley
that this
decided
is a
to go to the
different game.
meeting room.
This
Perhaps
isn't-
he had simply
This
missed a
isn't
memo.
the Stanley Parable 1. Bucket.
Stanley picked up the bucket.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Thank you for the bucket. This is the best feature in the Stanley Parable 2. They added this. Deserves best bucket in video game award many times over. Such a great feature.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
No.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room?
I think
Yes,
so.
Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was.
Forgot the bucket
How
makes everything
insightful the
positive.
bucket turned out to be. No, never mind. The bucket was wrong.
No.
Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift.
He's salty. He doesn't like the bucket.
Good.
Said the bucket.
Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
I'm, I'm loving this.
No, stop. Look there on the wall. You see, there's a sign right there. It says, "No buckets past this point."
No.
Stanley, how could you think it was okay to bring the bucket here? Unless... What if the problem is that you actually don't know what is a bucket and what isn't a bucket?
No.
I suppose that would explain a lot about your behavior up to this point. Which, if that's true, well, my goodness, I think we have to do something about it. This misunderstanding could have dire consequences on the entire rest of the game if not addressed quickly and properly.
Oh.
So much of the impact of the story is dependent on your understanding of what is and isn't a bucket.
What I'm holding is a bucket.
Please, step in here for a moment.
Is this a bucket?
Now
Oh,
then,
new game show.
I'm going to run you through some test scenarios, and you'll tell me whether or not the thing I'm showing you is a bucket. Simple enough, right? This should tell us everything we'll ever need to know about what is or is not a bucket. Okay, let's begin.
I think I can do this. I can do this.
Item 1. Is this a bucket?
Yes.
Incorrect.
What?
It is a hologram of a bucket, not an actual
Oh
bucket.
my goodness. They're gonna be like this? They're gonna be like this?
Item 2. Is this a bucket?
Oh
Incorrect.
my goodness.
It is a 3D printed recreation of a bucket, not an actual
Wouldn't that just
bucket.
make it a bucket? A plastic bucket? Oh my goodness.
Item 3. Is this a bucket?
Yes.
Correct. This is a bucket.
I got it. Genius. Yeah, I know what a bucket is.
Item 4. Is this a bucket?
So you can put water up on top and goes in. So it's like a bucket.
Are you hallucinating? This is a tractor. It's an enormous machine that tills the earth. I thought this was a gimmick. How on earth did you manage to screw it up? Absolutely incredible. Let's just move on to the next one.
I love this. This is so fun. This is a good time.
Is this a bucket?
Yes.
Correct. This is a bucket.
See what I say. I'm too smart. I'm too smart.
Item 6. Is this a bucket? Trick question. Both. Gotcha.
You didn't let me answer both. That's on you. That's on you, mister. That's not on me this time.
Item... Wait, hold on. I can't find the next one. Let me see. It should be around here somewhere.
So you're holding up the game.
Okay, you and I both know there isn't anything here. And I don't appreciate the implication that nothing is a bucket when we both clearly know that a bucket is something, and therefore nothing could possibly be something. Unless, in your twisted mind, have you somehow convinced yourself that a bucket is nothing? Answer me straight, Stanley. Do you believe that nothing is a bucket?
Yes.
You know what? I'm too confused to even sort it out. I've lost all sense of perspective. What is a bucket? What isn't a bucket? Mere moments ago I could answer these questions with confidence, and yet now I'm somewhat adrift. Do any of us know what a bucket is? Am I a bucket?
You could be.
Stanley, I can't keep doing this. I'm losing myself, and myself was all I ever had to begin with. I'm afraid the bucket is threatening to tear our
No,
relationship apart.
don't you dare
I
take
can't
the
have that. I'm
bucket
sorry,
away from me.
but I'm going to erase all buckets
No.
from the game entirely. Okay, here we go.
No. I should have just listened. I should have listened to
What happened? Is everything gone? Why did everything disappear?
because
Wait,
everything's
was
a bucket.
everything a bucket? Every single thing in the game was a bucket. Oh my
Which means
God,
I
had
answered
no
correctly
idea.
the entire
How could-
time.
Except me. I'm not a bucket after all. And you, Stanley, you're still here. You're not a bucket either. Oh, this is wonderful news. We're not buckets. Yes, I actually feel much more at ease right now. It's delightful to get some clarity on that issue, but it doesn't change the fact that we haven't got a game. So, tell you what, I'll reset everything and we'll put back all of the buckets, okay? And we'll know that it's all a bucket. But if you run into anyone else, maybe don't mention that.
Who knows what that information might do to a person? All right, here we go.
Yeah, it could make them go mad. Well, everything's a bucket, so I think I'm okay. I think I'm okay now.
All of his co-workers were gone.
I'll get through this.
What could it mean?
Don't need a bucket.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting
But they
room.
have one.
Stanley lifted the bucket into his arms, and a wave of comfort rushed over him.
Alright, I'll listen to him completely.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers. Oh, Stanley, can you feel it? The broom closet. It wants the bucket. You can feel that, can't you? The aura of jealousy, it's as clear as day. This broom closet
It's a
believes
fantastic
it deserves the bucket. I
Simple
can really
Jack.
feel it now. It's a bucket. It belongs in a broom closet. That's what the broom closet is trying to say here. It's supposed to go with the other cleaning supplies. Good for you, Stanley.
I kinda just
Don't
wanna
give in.
leave. I don't want them to
hand
take
over
my
the
bucket.
I know how hard it must be, given the pressure that the broom
Ah,
closet is
screw-
putting
screw
on
the
your
broom
shoulders
closet.
right now, but you have to be strong. This is coming to a staircase. Stanley and the
I'm
bucket
not letting them
walked
take away my
upstairs to
bucket.
the boss's office.
This Simple Jack, if you don't know, this bucket, Prime Bucket, deserves awards. Almost got an award actually, just for how good this bucket is.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned
It even talks
to
to me
discover not an
sometimes.
indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire, if not for the soothing presence of the bucket.
It comforts
Even
me
now,
in my
in his darkest,
darkest
of hours,
hours.
did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos. It would be with him always. The bucket would, and he knew it.
This is
The
why I
two
took
of them
it,
were
even though
inseparable.
I know everything's a
At
bucket.
this point, Stanley
This
was so
bucket in
absorbed in the
particular.
tender spiritual connection he shared with the bucket that he didn't notice the keypad behind the boss's desk.
I did notice.
Nor in his bliss of simply being near the bucket did he have any notion that the PIN number for the keypad was 2845.
I wonder if the ending's gonna change.
But Stanley
the bucket
guessed the
now.
correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
This bucket. I freaking love this bucket. I would never find a
The
better
elevator
bucket.
raced downward,
I don't think I
plummeting
could.
towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself
Oh,
together.
thank you for the raid
if
loot.
not for
Oh, I
the
forgot I
bucket.
had that noise on
Soothing
there. It
him,
caught me off
comforting
guard.
him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty,
Hello
he
everyone,
would be
in the
right.
raid I'm Daxias.
The bucket is
Galaxy
here
and
for you,
Center
Stanley.
Earth, that's
Everything
punishment.
will be fine.
And I'm playing the Stanley Parable now. With the best bucket I have ever seen.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
Mind control.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens.
What is safe?
What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
So I'm just taking this bucket with the end. Maybe I can actually escape with the bucket.
The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the
The
bucket
bucket
in
was
shock.
not part of the OG
Everyone in the office was being
This is
videotaped,
only in the new
monitored
in
like guinea
the
pigs.
Stanley Parable 2.
The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine.
I love the romance in between Stanley and the bucket. It's the sweetest thing I've ever seen.
Was the bucket under the mind
I'm not
control
lying.
facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do
or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble
These are the
mind.
questions we ask in life. No, this is only in the Stanley Parable too. The bucket was not in the first one.
No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control. Never!
Never.
He squeezed the bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket.
How could I trust anyone? They're not buckets like
But
this.
here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place.
Oh
As
yeah,
the
oh
cold
yeah, the
reality
mind
of his
control.
past began to sink
No,
in.
okay.
Stanley decided that this machinery
this is-
would never
this is
again
the
exert
Stanley
its
Parable
terrible
2.
power over
And it's
another
like the
human
first
life.
game,
For he and
but
the
it has a bucket.
would dismantle the controls for good.
and I don't know, like
Best
what more do you
friends,
need?
Stanley and the bucket up against the world. They high-fived in a really cool way, and the bucket made a sassy comment about taking down the system.
Alright, turn it off. Turn it off, bucket. Should we turn it on? Should we turn it off or on? Cat, you decide. What do you think the bucket wants? I'm thinking on. Take over them off. Okay. I went with the first choice.
Stanley and the bucket waited in blackness. Was it over?
I think so. I think so. Bucket, I think we're gonna be okay.
Yes, they had done it. Stanley and the bucket had defeated their greatest and darkest enemy, freed themselves from the tyrannical grip of the evil mind control machine.
Okay,
Freedom was now mere moments away. Excitedly, the two of them began to discuss the kind of life they wanted to live once they stepped through this massive door.
I love this
The
bucket.
bucket wanted to learn to roller skate. Stanley wanted to sneeze in every country on Earth. Both of them
That's
wanted
an
to begin
interesting
watching a
dream.
movie, any movie, but then stop it halfway through and begin watching it in reverse from the end. True, it was a simple life they envisioned,
What
but it was one
system?
they'd lived
What are you
together, with
The
one another to
system?
lean on, to
No.
trust, to support.
No, that wouldn't happen.
What? Wait, what was happening? Why had the door stopped?
Wait, yeah, this didn't happen.
Was
last
Stanley
time.
and the bucket not about to be freed? An unbearable silence filled the room, lingering in uncertainty, until finally the truth hit Stanley square in the face. This building did not want the bucket to leave. Even the facility itself recognized the incredible calming presence of the bucket, needed the soothing warmth of the bucket, would go any lengths not to part with the bucket.
He wants the bucket.
No. Stanley can't leave this place. Not while he has such a precious bucket in his arms. Not while this building has anything to say about it. Stanley realized he would never again leave this very room. But at least he has the bucket.
Oh no.
To be trapped eternally in darkness isn't really so bad, Stanley thought to himself.
You're right,
as
'cause I
long
have
as
the
I have
bucket.
my bucket with me, right? I'll be okay, won't I? Stanley gulped. Very soon now, he was about to find out.
I think so. I think we would be okay. We have the bucket. Alright. Back to the game.
All of his co-workers were gone.
And
What could
another
it
thing
mean?
about the Stanley Parable
Stanley
2
decided to
loop,
go to the meeting room.
the-
Perhaps he
the
had
Stanley
simply
Parable
missed a
2
memo.
has balloons. See? And then to prove that, this is the Stanley Parable 2, the sequel is now paused. I'm taking the bucket
The
again.
confusion and the chaos all seemed to melt away as Stanley embraced the bucket. Stanley
listening
clutched the
this
bucket
time.
tightly to his chest. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him
corrupts.
that the employee lounge
Corrupts.
was simply the place to be.
My memo
And here
is
it was.
waiting.
Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the
I
cargo
forget
lift.
what you mean by memo. Oh, I did. I did. No. The bucket's telling me to do this.
Good.
I'm
said
just
the
following the bucket.
Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
See, that's the bucket.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
Obviously. I can't deny the bucket. I can't disobey
In
the bucket.
here,
Said the bucket.
go into this dark room over here.
Stanley once again obeyed blindly.
Not dark. It's pretty light, actually. Oh, that one's dark. Oh,
Now pick up the phone.
Said the bucket.
Pick up the phone and it will take us back home, where we can go about life together.
ooh, bright.
This is the sad story of a man named Stanley and his bucket.
Oh
Once
my
upon a
goodness.
time, I gave Stanley a bucket because I thought he was lonely and could use a friend. And then, very distressingly, he began to believe the bucket could speak to him.
Oh, the bucket. Hello, Stanley. It's me, your bucket. Press R to take me to work with you.
The Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket was merely meant to provide the comforting glow of companionship. It doesn't literally talk and give you orders.
My office.
Whatever Stanley is hearing the bucket say to him is just in his head.
Press C to take me back home with you. Okay. Well, can I do anything here first? Nope.
Lately, I've been concerned about him. Wouldn't you be concerned as well? To see him delusional like this, obsessing over an inanimate metal object? I want to say something to him, but I don't know how I can convince him. I don't know if he'll listen to me.
Absolutely not. I have listened to you very little in this entire game.
Oh, I'll try anyway. Stanley, can you hear me? Listen to me. It's just a bucket. It can't think, it can't talk. All it will ever truly do for you is effectively transfer a liquid from one location to a different
Gives me
location.
comfort.
That's it.
You
It doesn't do
you
anything
programmed
else. You see, he's not listening. He's still taking orders from the bucket. You know, once upon a time it was me he took orders from.
There
Me
it is.
he trusted and listened to. Now all he cares about is his awful bucket. This stupid hunk of metal.
Ignore anyone in your life except for me.
It's sad, but I suppose he doesn't need me anymore. From now on, he's just going to cling to this bucket, this cold, empty bucket, this
Aw, I
sort
feel
of
bad now.
shiny bucket. Well, I'll give it this. The bucket does have a nice shine to it.
It does. Thank you. Now you're seeing what I'm seeing. You believe I'm real, don't you, Stanley? Press G to go.
Yes, I suppose on closer inspection that it doesn't quite look like your average hardware store bucket. It's just a little more, what am I trying to say? Sturdier, more capable of transporting liquid. Like it would be better at moving an amount of water from one room to another.
Yeah. Press T to relive the same day with me. Over.
Oh my God, what am I saying? Better at carrying water from room to room. It's a bucket. It's literally just a bucket.
Aw,
Why do I feel so
regressed.
need to point out the ways in which it's so much more than just a regular bucket?
press P to go home. To work to home to home.
Oh no. I'm having feelings. For the bucket.
No.
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 What's
Narrator,
going on?
no.
Why do
This
I
is
want
my
to
bucket.
be with the bucket? Hear what the bucket has to say. Do anything it asks. What's wrong with me? I don't understand. Perhaps, if I had the bucket, this would be less
dancing.
confusing. Yes.
Dancing with the bucket.
The bucket could tell me what to do in this troublesome situation. Stanley, give me the bucket. Give it to me. Give me the bucket, Stanley.
Can't
I
even
need
touch
it. Give it to me now. Give it or I'll...
Are those hands? Did I see hands? Whoa. Go back to work, Stan. Whoa.
I can't wait to tell this story to my co-workers, Stanley thought. How amusing they'll find it. Oh, won't we all just laugh and laugh at the time I thought everyone had gone missing.
Warmth spread through Stanley's arms. With the bucket in his arms again, he was home. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Yeah, I think I do want to go this way.
Still no one was
I
here.
might see what happens
Stanley
if I
needed the
take
bucket's warmth and
over
comfort now
the
more than
system.
ever. Perhaps his
bucket.
boss's
Hold on, I wanna go
office was
downstairs.
coming to a staircase. Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
A collectible!
You found one of them. One of the miniature Stanley figurines. Remember, no reward for collecting all of these, only the intrinsic pleasure of a job
something-
well done.
something else they
You
added
can't
in the
buy
Stanley
that sort
Parable
of
2
happiness,
are
Stanley. God
collectibles.
knows I've tried. So, I implore you to savor
very-
each and every
very,
moment you come across one of these beautiful figurines.
I think it's a nice addition to the game. It makes you pay attention to the environment more, and definitely doesn't feel like a tedious task you're doing just to get a.
But Stanley
actual
just
ending of
couldn't
the
do
game.
it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then
Oh no! Is this
something
the time
occurred
loop?
to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. He looked down at the bucket in his arms. Am I crazy? He asked
Can't
the
believe he
bucket.
redid
The
all
bucket
these
returned
lines
his
with the
gaze,
bucket.
but said nothing at all. That's strange, Stanley thought. Usually the bucket is a source of guidance and wisdom for me in difficult times such as these. He held the bucket close, yet felt none of its familiar reassurance and comfort.
This is
And
when
that's when Stanley realized, this isn't my bucket. It's just a normal, everyday bucket. Someone else's bucket, perhaps.
Uh-oh.
How did I end up with someone else's bucket? This is all terribly wrong. Surely no good would come from this. Who knows what sorts of bizarre
Oh, thank you,
hallucinations
literally
Stanley might
space.
experience
Oh, yeah,
without
I
the
had
psychologically
someone,
grounding presence of his bucket.
really talented to work on them, and I really like the way they
Now he
turned
noticed
out.
the
So
wounds were repeating,
put them up
which
there,
was,
to,
of
show them
course,
off a
very
bit.
odd.
Show
And
off
now he felt
their
himself
great work.
floating off the ground. Oh, gracious, he exclaimed. Without my bucket, I've gone
Wait,
truly
yeah, where'd
mad.
my bucket
Where is
go?
it? I
Oh,
must
no.
find it. Far off in the distance now, he heard it, calling to him.
Stanley,
If you're around at the end, I'll
Stanley,
make them
it's
big,
me,
and
the
you can do
bucket.
just that.
Could it truly be? He rushed forward from room to room, passing by one bucket after the next. None of them were his. None of them were his special bucket.
Oh no!
Come to me, Stanley. Find me.
He had
Go
to
for
find
it.
the
Go
bucket.
for the
He had to
smooch.
return to his old friend. It was the only way to truly restore his sanity. And then suddenly, he froze dead in his tracks. He knew where the voice of the bucket had been coming from. The real bucket was inside of him all along.
Uh-oh.
It was incredibly painful.
That hurts.
Stanley
that hurts,
doubled
Stanley.
over in agony and blacked out.
The heat death of the universe. Y'all still have like what, a couple
This
billion
is the
years to
story
go?
of a woman named Mariella.
Fuck, it's Mariella.
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, picked up her bucket of comfort and
The
security,
bucket
and
was
walked
my
to her
best
place of
friend
work.
in this game.
But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town, talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. Right away, she
Here we
knew
go.
what the problem was. This man had no bucket. Of course he'd gone mad, ranting and raving about a narrator describing all of his actions and how everything is predetermined and free will is an illusion and it's all just a video game. It could all have been prevented if only he'd taken his bucket with him. Perhaps he didn't even realize he'd forgotten his bucket at home in the first place.
3 beautiful
How
kisses
cruel
for
the
3
world can be,
beautiful
Mariella
emotes.
thought, and she hugged her own bucket even tighter. But of course,
Is she
had
taking
no
my
time for this.
bucket?
There were a myriad of confusing
She finds a
problems
dead man
she
and
would
just
soon
takes
have to
his
confront at
bucket?
work,
Oh, this is
for which her bucket
disrespectful.
would provide absolute guidance and total clarity on everything. Heck yes, she thought to herself. My life kicks ass. And she
Just taking my
backflipped
bucket.
all the way to work.
Oh my goodness. This bucket's a okay. I think there's one more
All
thing I
of his
can do with the
co-workers were
bucket.
gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Stanley picked up the bucket and smiled. He'd never be alone again, not truly alone, not with the bucket around. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the
I'm
door. on
speed
his
running
left.
through all this. I don't need to see this again. Oh! Just a completionist instinct. Is there one here? The collector here. Large room, lots of boxes. Some were both red and blue. Nearby a fireplace, a private but smelly place for an important person. Oh, a large room. Oh, okay, okay. I know what one is. There will be a reward for finding them all. Nice. We can do it. Red room. So red. That's the red and blue room. Okay. I know what one is. I don't think there was any in here.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Okay, right here. There's one in here. Heck yeah, collectible.
Another miniature Stanley figurine. This, you know, there really must be a snappier name for these things. What about mini stands? Stanley figs? What about Stanlerines? Yes,
That's
I
it.
think I like
That's
that.
the one.
Another Stanlerine
Stanlerine.
under your belt.
Absolutely incredible. Things are going so well in this game. The elevator. I don't think much happens in the elevator. Oh wait, a red room? No, not this room. Red and blue room. We can enjoy this elevator music. Very nice music, very lovely. Alright. I think we're good there. I don't think they're doing anything with that room. Alright. Back to what I was originally going to do.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence of the bucket. Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos. It would be with him always. The bucket would. And he knew it. The two of them were inseparable.
Oh, sure.
At this point, Stanley was so absorbed in the
I'll probably
tender
have to turn the game
spiritual
down a bit.
connection he shared with the bucket that he didn't notice the keypad behind the boss's desk.
How's
Nor
that
in his
sound?
bliss of simply being near the bucket did he have any notion that the
Um,
pin number for the keypad was 2845.
I guess my mic is a little far away, and I do talk quietly, so thanks for letting me know, though. What is it? 2685?
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs.
No
Trying to
problem.
input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845.
Gosh darn it. I thought there was a 6 in there for
But
some
Stanley
reason.
guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him?
It's always the
Yes,
bucket.
This is certainly the most logical explanation.
Okay, this is going to seem repetitive because I went down this... Oh, but it's Stanurine.
Okay, I'm going back to the name of these little Stanley figurines, and now I'm torn between Stanlerines and Figlies. What do you think?
Figlies are
Stanley?
easy to say.
What name better encapsulates the intrinsic
So I might
sense
go
of
with
happiness
Figlies.
that you get from seeing a small number in the corner of your screen go up by 1? Let me sit on it.
Is that
I'm sure it will
serotonin?
come
No,
to me.
serotonin? No, dopamine? Feels good. Feels good collecting things. So, I'm going down. Alright. Like I said, this part might seem repetitive until the very end. I think I'm going to get a different ending once I get there.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door.
I've
that
never
read,
done this ending,
"Mind
actually.
control
I just
for
realized
silver."
this.
This
I've never
passageway
done the
had
escape
word
route.
escape written on it,
The truth was that at the end
Even
of this
before
haul,
I got the
Stanley and the
bucket.
bucket would both meet a violent death.
I can't believe I've
The
never
door
done
behind
this
them
one.
was not shut. Stanley and the bucket still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley and the bucket were knowingly walking
Like, I don't even know the
forward
original
into a
ending
very
compared to.
painful
That's okay.
death for each of them.
I can always go back to the Stanley Parable one. Here we go. Stanley can vibe an infinite hole, so he's good. Look at that. Legs of steel, apparently. Oh.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley and the bucket inched closer to their demise,
That's not good.
Stanley reflected on how meaningless the bucket's warmth and comfort had turned out to be.
Turned out it was cold
It
like
puts the
metal.
mind and the soul at ease to embrace the bucket. But what use is a sense of ease when you're about to be crushed to death? This is what Stanley thought to himself, and he sort of kicked himself for wasting so much time
Can't
carrying
escape.
a bucket everywhere. Farewell,
can't.
Stanley.
I can't get out. Will the bucket save me?
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley and the
What?
bucket were led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, the bucket's life came to an end as it was crushed violently to death.
Oh yeah, the bucket. Not Stanley. Oh wait, I survived.
It was a shame, the death of such a magnificent bucket. It's true that all buckets are radiant in their own way, but this one
I can't believe
stood
how
above
hard
the
they went on
rest.
this bucket
It was a
bit.
glorious bucket to behold.
The bucket. They really redid this whole game, but included a bucket. Cracks me up. The bucket welcomes you to the grand exhibit. You are standing at the precipice of knowledge. Much like bucket itself, the human mind is frequently empty within a carnivorous void. But through use of the exhibit in front of you, the mind becomes full and enriched and substantiate. Knowledge of the bucket and its history is the only true knowledge we really have. Will you take what you learn here out with you into the world? Will you accept with an open mind what may be challenging about the information in this exhibit? Will you change the lives of yourself and your loved ones as a result of this exhibit? Or will you turn a blind eye and continue to live as you were? I'm working on my ASMR voice. How was that?
Can
How
you
was that?
see
Needs
how
improvement,
arrogant
right?
it was for
I don't think it was
Stanley to
bad.
take a bucket like this and to claim it for his own? Can you see the hubris that blinded him?
Bucket
Can
with
you
two
see that the
handles.
bucket is far more noble than Stanley will ever be in his short life?
This bucket is depicted as having two handles. Such a design has never been created in real life, having been deemed too dangerous and recklessly experimental. Every year, dozens are put to death just for attempting it. Maybe one of these days I'll do it. I'll do an ASMR stream. See how that goes. Whoa, so many buckets. 25 buckets. A photograph of 25 buckets, the greatest number of buckets ever captured on camera. The photographer experienced catatonic shock for several weeks as a result of the euphoria from exposure to this many buckets at once. Oof, that's rough, that's rough. An old bucket. Oh my goodness, when you think you see everything. Inferno bucket. Okay, sorry, this bit is getting to me. Inferno bucket. A replica of the Inferno bucket, which is the medieval era, was so powerfully alluring that it drove dozens of nations to war with one another for control of it. Billions died, and yet in spite of all of it, the simple fact remains. No one can control a bucket. This is so ridiculous. The stress bucket and analogy. Worrying, negative forecasting, negative thinking, lack of reassurance. Vulnerability equals size and strength of the bucket. Coping strategies equals holes. Rest and relaxation You instantly enjoy resting the session and stress the level of water in the bucket. The stress bucket presented without commenting. Whoops, I think I kind of did that. Caveman buckets. Oh my goodness. Cave drawings. While we know that buckets predate the existence of mankind, we do not know by how long. This cave drawing depicts early man's discovery of the practical uses of the bucket, by which time the bucket had already likely been around for several millennia. Notice in these drawings how the bucket is allowing itself to be used, having judged humanity to be worthy of its treasure. This is
No man.
This is the
could
greatest
own a
thing I've
bucket,
ever played.
And certainly not a bucket as dazzling to behold as this one. It is man who should kneel before the bucket.
Blue over there. Oh. The hanging bucket. This piece symbolizes the necessary relationship between bucket and humanity. However clear our grasp of the bucket may be, there is yet more that is always out of reach. This distance, inevitably, is for our own good. Interesting. Is it an infinite hole? Heck yeah. The only thing I love more than buckets are holes. Oh, okay. Never mind. I'm not going in the hole. I'll grab the bucket.
But there is something we can do. Something we can do together, you and I, that will right this terrible wrong.
What?
Let Stanley die. Let him be crushed by the machine.
No.
Don't reset the game. Don't give him another opportunity to run off with another beautiful bucket. We can save the world's buckets from their treatment as tools and
I wanted the
implements if
hole.
only
This
we
is
let
the hole would have been better
Stanley
than
die
this right
together.
here.
The bucket
Being
should take his
crushed.
place as ruler, as leader, as commander of a new world, a new vision.
Ah, bucket died. Okay. I guess that path is... No, it's blue. Why is it blue? This is new. Kinda rhymes.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I'm taking the bucket.
The good old bucket. Just Stanley and the bucket, off on another thrilling adventure together.
Seems a little jealous there. He seemed a little jealous.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Okay. I'm gonna do what I was actually originally gonna do. Oh wait, yeah, I have 2 more left. Some were both red and blue. I think I have to go in the right door a couple of times to get the red and blue. A large room, lots of boxes. I think that's in the right area as well. Okay, I'm gonna try
Coming to a
get
staircase,
through this
Stanley and the
bit
bucket walked
quickly.
upstairs to the boss's office.
I've done this several times, so I think I remember the
Stepping
code
into his
this time.
manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire, but Stanley guessed
Nice,
the
I got
correct
it.
code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket
Can I
knew
press
all along?
3?
Was the bucket guiding him?
Press
Yes,
3 a lot.
This is certainly the most logical explanation.
I'm not sure if that's doing anything. I was pressing 3. Or did I miss something? I feel like I missed. Oh, you mean on the pad? I'm stupid. I'm over here pressing my keyboard. Like, what's that doing? I'll have to do it next time. I don't know why I thought you meant my keyboard. Okay, gonna get through this quick. As quickly as I can.
Stanley and
parts
the
where it
bucket
just
walked
pauses.
straight ahead through the large door that read, mind control facility.
Okay.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
Perfect. Making record time here.
The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears.
It's overwhelming
Stanley
for a
cradled
bucket,
it
I
gently,
understand. It can be hard.
reassuring it that everything would be fine.
I'm very glad this bucket had Stanley here, because I don't think the bucket would have been
Was the bucket under the
able to
mind
handle
control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place?
You think buckets like being
These
filled with
questions
water?
raised
I'm not sure.
furiously in Stanley's feeble mind.
Before I played this game, I would have said yes.
No! He
But I don't know
screamed to the
anymore.
bucket.
This-
He couldn't
this game has
accept
opened
it.
my eyes
His
to the
own
bucket.
life in someone else's control? Never! He squeezed the bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket.
Alright.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with
Let's see.
emotions.
The
happy
bucket and I are
or
going to
sad
take
or
control. We're going to
content.
turn it all on.
Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery...
On.
But at the last second, the bucket jumped in and pressed the button to turn on the controls.
It was the bucket.
Stanley gasped in horror. Had this been the bucket's plan all along? To take over the machine
It
and claim the
manipulated
power
me.
for itself?
Or
How could
Stanley.
the bucket have betrayed him like this? Stanley was prepared to throw the bucket away in disgust when suddenly an image appeared upon the enormous screen.
Oh,
Birds. Silly,
birds.
silly birds. The control buttons became active again.
Flamingos, heck yeah.
Stanley flipped through one video of silly
Yellowfinch? I don't
birds
know,
after
actually.
another, and then it dawned on him. This wasn't a mind control facility at all. It was a facility for
Penguins.
monitoring and surveilling
these are some of
silly
my
birds
favorite.
all over the world. The mind controls were only a facade to disguise its true intentions.
Oh, genius,
Had the bucket
genius.
known this all along? Stanley marveled at the metal
I should have
genius
never
in his
doubted the
hands,
bucket.
The one who had pointed him towards
That's
this
a pretty
incredible
bird.
discovery.
I don't know
Stanley
what
and
kind
the
of bird
bucket
that
never
is.
found freedom because they spent the rest of their lives here in this place, flipping through live streams of the silliest birds imaginable. Of all the possible paths his life could have taken, this one was surely the best.
Aw,
And Stanley
you.
was happy.
Ducks are adorable. A little disturbing, but adorable. Wait, no, I didn't get to see them. Okay. The bucket bit is over. I'm through with the bucket. I think I've done everything
How
I can with the
wonderful.
bucket.
Stanley was alone. Finally. This is great, he thought to
I'm
himself.
gonna do the
This is what I
collectibles
wanted
now.
all along. I got what I wanted.
So there's one in a black
Stanley
and white
came
room,
to a
which I
set of
believe
two
is over
open
here.
doors. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
And not
The
this
lounge
room.
was sublime, a work of art. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Yes, I need to go this way.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section,
Wait.
walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Have I ever been down here? I don't think I've ever been down
But
here.
Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go, from here it's, left.
Oh, okay. I don't have
Oh, no, no,
Oh,
it's to
okay.
the right, my mistake.
No,
No,
okay.
no, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please?
He's lost. He's lost.
Now, let's see.
This is why we don't pay him the big bucks.
Down, left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
I didn't like that car.
No.
I've seen this
This
before.
isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just have to get back to, oh, who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now.
It's all
Whole
over.
story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this
Okay.
time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay, from the top.
Okay, yep, he just resets it.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it
How did
mean?
I get to the red and black?
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Also, the new content is gone. They just left it with the bucket.
When Stanley... Wait, what?
Whoa.
No,
Was I wrong? Did I
restarted.
misspeak?
I swear, I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... Or did something change? Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors?
I don't
Did you
believe so.
move the story somewhere, or... Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay, then. It's an adventure. Come,
Nice.
Stanley. Let's find the story.
Oh, I can't. It blocked it off, and now I want to go that. Let's go this way. It's the same. Okay, so. Wow, I've never done this actually. In a guild, everyone knows what you did. They're just holding back to let you torture yourself. Oh, it just led me back.
I'll say it.
To the
This
room.
is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again? Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this.
I got very
Okay,
lost
let's
there.
give it a shot. Why not?
I wonder if the bucket's gonna be here then.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley
it's
decided
gone.
to go to the meeting room.
And the balloons are
Perhaps
gone,
he had
too.
simply missed a memo.
Let's do the sequel though. Oh, now there's no
Yep,
doors.
it's worse. I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
Okay, I can do that. I don't believe we missed anything.
Aha! I knew we'd missed something. The story. Here it comes. No, wait, never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps.
This isn't where I started.
Now this... Well, I'll be honest, I don't recognize this place at all.
I've never been
Is
here.
this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley?
I know it was
You
an
know what?
office. I'm not sure
Since
about
I've
the building
completely
piece.
forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win!
I've done it.
Congratulations! I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off, so good job. Oh, no. No, I don't feel right about this at all.
I would have
We
taken it
both
though.
know
I would
you
have.
didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations.
I feel like I did.
I'm
pretty
getting
right.
weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart.
Well, Face, you gotta take back that GG. He took it back.
All
from me.
right, I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line. Just follow
Oh, this
the
is
line.
not where it
How
took me
simple is that?
last time. This is not where I went, sir.
You see, the line knows where the story is.
Sir, but
It's
I haven't
over
been
in
here
this
before,
direction.
sir.
Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Though, here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of
Bring
no
up the wall,
destination
getting tricky there.
still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Whoa. Hang on. That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that.
Yeah, you
what?
get intense sometime,
I think what we
narrator.
need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
Hey, you know what? You got good taste, narrator. This line to move quite a bit. It's hitting hard.
Cut the music.
Aw.
Go back and look at that fern. Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story. Make sure you study it closely and remember it carefully.
Alright, it's
You
green.
won't want to miss anything.
About 27 stems. I'm going to say around 413 leaves. My guess.
Wait, what? We're back at the office? No. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story.
Oh, no, we're here again.
Not again, Line. How could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything we've been through, you... Oh, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart.
Okay. Do I not follow the line this time?
You know what, Stanley?
Okay.
I say
Shut the
forget
door in my face,
adventure
that's
line.
cool.
What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story? Something exciting, daring, mysterious. Ooh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction?
Okay. Oh man, I've always wanted to go through one of these doors.
Now, yes, this is exciting.
This
Just
is
me
a
and
new
Stanley
territory,
forging
new
a new
area.
path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be? Go wild. Use your imagination. Whatever it might be, Stanley, I'm ready for it.
Okay, what should it be? What should it be?
Oh, no, not
Oh,
you
the
again.
line.
Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine.
Okay, the line left. I kind of like the line. I view it as my pet.
Ah, a choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control.
My control,
How
good
important we
narrator.
mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute. Okay. So
You know
I
me,
that
I always,
each door
follow
has
an
to
arrow.
lead somewhere,
The line on the floor.
Which means that somewhere, the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since
Oh
the
my
answer
goodness.
is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits.
Oh boy, that was long.
Oh,
The
hold on,
confusing
what's this?
ending.
The confusion ending.
For 17
You're
minutes,
telling me
wow.
That's what this is? It's all one giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game, what, eight times?
8 times? We're only on the 4th
really
restart?
how all this goes? It's all determined? So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this
Okay, I think
thing.
I've got it down. I think I know what I'm supposed to
Wall.
do.
Well, who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really... No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on.
Narrator, it's only 8
I don't want
times.
to be
We can do
trapped like
this.
this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. And the timer...
Stopped?
Hey,
Does
look
that
at that
mean,
narrator.
Did we do it? Did we break the cycle? The, whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen? So,
I don't know. I don't know,
Okay.
narrator.
I guess now we just wait. You know, I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story, wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually.
Eventually.
Well, in the meantime, if you...
Oh! I did not like that noise. Did they force the 5th restart?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had
ignore the
simply
bucket.
missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open
Yeah, I
doors,
need to
this
find the
was not
collectibles.
correct way
That's
to
what I
the
wanted
meeting
to
room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Standing now in this incredible room, Stanley for the first, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on
that
his left.
goes to the meeting room. That's not where I want to go.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong
Wait.
foot here.
Oh, wait.
I'm not
Can
your
I...
enemy, really. I'm
Oh, look at
I
that.
realize
There's a
that investing your
collectible.
trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been
I didn't
about
know you can go
nothing
over
but
there.
you all this time.
It's the
There's
line.
someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for
How do
her.
I get over there?
This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work
Dang it.
aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
You know, honestly, I haven't done this ending either.
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this. To reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
It restarts, right? I think it just forced a restart last time. Nope. I have not been here before.
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just
Another
pulling the bread
place.
out of the oven. All right.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, there
Home
we
baked
go.
bread?
All right,
That is
now,
so good.
I want you to come in and tell me all
I
about
should bake some bread tomorrow.
Gotcha.
You jerk.
Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife?
I kinda
They wanna
forgot.
commit their life to you. I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying
They got
to
me
get you
thinking
to
about
see
bread,
something.
and my mind
Come
just
inside.
wandered.
Let me show you what's really going on here. Sorry, but you're in my story now.
Dang you, narrator.
This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
Press P on the keyboard.
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence.
Oh, they're actually making me do it now.
Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life. But in his mind,
Alright, this is gonna
in his
be a very
mind, he can go on
talkative
fantastic adventures.
ending,
From
I'm
behind his desk,
guessing.
Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful. And each day that he returned to work was a reminder that
very
none of it
talkative.
would ever happen to him.
G to watch some TV.
And so he began to fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly.
He's an introvert. I understand that.
So he went further. He imagined that he came to 2 open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold. As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations.
A terrible dinner.
Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable.
I see.
It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time. But there is no answer. How could there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets, the more he forgets which life is the real one.
Don't worry, Stanley, you can figure it out.
And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
Don't tell me what to do. I do what I want.
You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself?
It's like Christmas here with that line of questioning.
Suppose I can't. Not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried.
Well, I did not get that one, but I found a collectible.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting
And that's
room.
what I want.
Perhaps when Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge
I also
first,
now no
just
longer
to
remember
admire
where the
it.
blue and red.
Stanley felt lightheaded, butterflies in his stomach. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Oh, this way.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
No. Okay. That was scary. I've never been here. Was this in
You're getting
the original
close,
one?
Stanley. You've nearly gotten all of the Figler and Marines. Very soon, you'll collect the last one.
Thought we were going
and
with
then
Figlies.
the first number will equal the second number, and that will be it. We'll be different people by then. Different in the sense that we used to have none of them. And now we have them all. You can't go back to when you had no Figler and Marines. None of us can.
Okay, so back to the vent. Funny, Stanley can survive a infinite hole, but can't jump down there.
Stanley had now gotten himself so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off.
It was all a lie.
You didn't think I was actually just a recording, did you? What a silly and trite explanation that would be. All the back and forth between you and me, all the
Alright, you
absurd
got me, you
adventures
got
we've
me.
been through, and it all turns out I'm just a tape recording? It was all just in Stanley's head. I bet that's the kind of twist you think is revelatory. I bet each and every time you watch a movie where it turns out all to be in the main character's imagination, you must absolutely bolt off the couch in pure shock at the phenomenal and intricate storytelling.
No,
It
I'm
must
actually
be
not
so
a fan of that.
simple to be you. Life being an unending waterfall of surprises and delights. How much more exciting you must
Can
find
you hear
the
my
world than
ferret
the rest
digging
of
in the
us do.
background?
Now I've become sad. Look what you've done to me. This is all your fault.
Well, I believe this is where I have to call it a night. Stanley Parable 2. I hate to blue ball everyone when I only have one Bigly left, but I think that's all I can do for tonight. So thank you everyone for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I had a really good time this time. My ferret's super loud with the whole bucket bit. That killed me. I want to give one more shout out to Celeste underscore VT, otherwise known as Literally Space, for the wonderful emotes here. So thank you all for coming and have a wonderful night. Goodbye. Great to have you all.